It's the mid-2010s. Your adolescent brain has consumed so many Vines, MK Ultra style, that your entire personality has turned into stimming audios overlapping random JPEGs. Vine's influence on internet humor and brain rot cannot be understated, and will be studied by the alien architects of the future. But the Grim Reaper comes for all. The huddled masses moved on to the virtual promised land of YouTube, with its sweet, sweet mid-roll ad revenue. Some of these creators become huge, amassing levels of clout and wealth that, to you, doesn't even seem proportional to their talent. That's all it takes to be a multimillionaire? Being hot and loud? I hope their minimalist mansion falls into the San Andreas fault line. Okay, I didn't mean that. I don't think my therapy is working. Years later, you might begrudgingly acknowledge the work ethic and business savvy that these individuals needed to have in order to succeed, even if their work wasn't exactly your cup of tea. And once the broke bitterness of your teen years washes off of you, you occasionally stare out the window in the Kafkaesque nightmare that is life and think, I wonder whatever happened to these people. Greetings and salutations, you little peasants. Welcome back to one of my YouTuber retrospectives. Today I'm going to be covering one of the biggest it girls of this platform, arguably one of the biggest Viner turned YouTubers, who around 2020 just dipped. But what happened to her? Without further ado, let's dive into the life, career, and current whereabouts of Elizabeth Shayla Koshy, aka Liza Koshy. This sentient bottle of 5-hour energy moonwalked out of the womb on March 31st, 1996. In Houston, Texas, baby. And she's been pop-locking and dropping ever since. Her parents, Jean and Jose, raised her alongside her two sisters. I want to edit her Wikipedia page to say that she wasn't born au naturel. She actually just plopped out of her older sisters, Russian babushka doll style. If this video gets enough likes, I will do it, maybe. When Vine was popping off in 2013, Liza was a junior at Lamar High School and created her account, Liza, that's Liza with a Z, which really took off after she posted this Vine.
I just wanted to use the restroom, but now I'm so confused. Am I a womb?
Apparently, when she first started gaining clout online, her dad freaked out about people on the internet knowing about her. So he told her to manually block all of her followers one by one. And you know what? As an immigrant myself, this is a very immigrant dad thing to do. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but still. But eventually he came around to supporting her online ambitions. Her early videos consisted of sort of relatable teen situations or just her being, you know, goofy.
Girls' life completely depends on whether or not a guy's around. If a guy's around. If he's not.
How did you get such great eyebrows? Well, I guess it's in my genes.
Shit, mom, bust around.
Cause I feel like I'm running, I feel like I gotta get away. But I know that I don't wanna want, never stop, I win every day.
But even from early on, she had a love of what I like to call hair comedy. I've dabbled in it myself. My wigs, they call to me. Even now. A lot of drawn-on mustaches and brows. And she did have phenomenal brows. I want to sneak into her house and steal some of those hairs for myself. Her brand was very positive, upbeat, very facially flexible. I feel like there was a better way of describing that, but I'm gonna keep that in. Liza is also a brown question mark, aka racially ambiguous, as she is Indian on her father's side and German on her mama's, which is a rare pairing. I mean, like a standard, you know, Oxford study couple. That's not unique, but you reverse those genders. I call that a double take couple. Sometimes I take a photo for my collection. Don't worry, I don't use flash. I only mention this because her racial ambiguity and people, you know, not knowing what she was something she would joke about pretty frequently in her early content.
The perks of being half white, half Indian. Hello, everybody!
Hey.
Thank you, come again.
Toodles.
She would call herself little brown girl all the time. I want to start unironically calling myself fat Asian man. After graduating, she began attending University of Houston to study business marketing, one of my favorite vague majors. I know an English major is not talking. I don't have to take this anymore. She had already amassed a following of around 7 million by the time Vine croaked. And with the great YouTube migration already taking place, she dropped out in 2015 and moved to the land of kombucha and Klonopin. Her first YouTube video was uploaded on July 8th of 2015. I recognize PicMonkey font when I see it. And I will say that her YouTube took off very quickly. Her migrating audience from Vine, combined with her very brand-friendly persona, and potentially connections at YouTube. And I'm not like saying that to be shady or conspiratorial, but you know, there are creators who get hand selected by these platforms to get pushed out more. All this combined with her being very affable and knowing what the algorithm wanted to see at the time led her to being a constant feature on the trending page. Her early videos consisted of her endangering the lives of Texan drivers, terrorizing local children, and shoplifting like a real American. She also, of course, had a Musical.ly around this time. Some of these videos are quite crisp. Her expressive face works perfectly with this kind of content. 2015 is also the year that she met and began dating my third favorite Slav, David Dobrick. This was back when he was in the early stages of creating Abu Ghraib for daily vloggers. They were very consistent collaborators on each other's channels, but they posted their first ever joint video together, which was a parody of like, you know, cutesy couples content in December of that year. Oh, that Viner apartment complex. Innuendo and what I like to call, wait, what? Kinda jokes were their bread and butter.
Think it'll make me look fat.
I don't know. More than usual?
What?
Her first dollar store haul blew up, and I'd say it was pretty emblematic of her style of humor. Very fast-paced, a lot of puns, very dad humor.
Hey, look, they sell bell peppers here. What the bell?
Liza actually later confessed that she would go to the stores ahead of time and sort of plan out the videos and the jokes. So all of the jokes were not completely improvised, which, by the way, is the smarter and more time-efficient thing to do. Now, from what I can remember being online around this time, her humor was kind of polarizing. Not in the sense that it was very edgy or transgressive, but rather that people either really, really liked her and were on her wavelength, or they thought she was hella corny. She was never detested on a personal basis, unlike some of her fellow Viners. But that's because she never did anything that was as controversial or agitating. And she just seemed like such a little sweetie pie that even if all of her content wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, I always still liked her and admired her hustle. And she really was on that YouTube grind from like 2015 to 2017. Her upload schedule was consistent. It was a lot of parodies of makeup tutorials, back to school DIY, the trends that were really popular amongst tween to mid-20s something females. That was her key demo. The character Helga was introduced in this New York City vlog, vaguely foreign village cousin of Liza's.
Which one is the goat milk, huh?
No. These are all made by cows.
Made by cows?
Yeah.
Your cows know how to milk goats?
She became a reoccurring character alongside Jet Pakinski, who was this delusionally confident, deadpan, former athlete that was sort of loosely based on Liza's father.
What's your taste in music? Good.
I love a man in a bowl cut. His introduction came in the first ever video that was uploaded to her second channel that was created in 2016. Child Liza. She would make appearances anytime Liza would have any sort of skit where she was talking to her younger self. If I ever had to interact with a younger version of myself, I would pepper spray her, and then I would lean over her writhing, pudgy body and yell future stock tips. Liza'd occasionally do rants or some lighthearted opinion pieces, but she really liked to act a fool in public. This was a recurring gag. She even got kicked out of 3 IKEAs in California. They saw her doing the worm in one of the aisles on the security camera, and they said, you gotta go. Getting kicked out of an establishment is an American rite of passage. Liza always had ambitions outside of the internet bubble. In 2016, she made her acting debut in the CIA PSYOP, known as the Tyler Perry Cinematic Universe, playing Addie Walker in Boo, a Madea Halloween. Addie is one of the side characters. She's like this mousy church girl, and I only know this because I tragically watched a third of this film. And I'm not gonna lie, okay? Some of Medea's jokes, they do have me giggling. Somewhere in Langley, Virginia, they just popped a bottle. This film has a lot of internet stars and influencers in it. She also played Violet Adams in Hulu's Freakish. Liza's popular videos around this time included her heartbreaking video on addiction, shamelessly getting elevated in public, and ruthlessly assaulting members of the working class. This era had her getting the views. I'm talking like consistently over 20 million. And I know views aren't everything, but this was legitimately impressive. She won a Streamy for Breakout Star that year, which was the first of many nominations and wins for her online content. She was getting mentions in Teen Vogue, The Hollywood Reporter, National Enquirer. Liza began her occasional dip into the political sphere by working with the Voting Project and even interviewing Obama during that fateful election year. She, of course, did a very highly requested collab with the reigning 2010s Brown Queen of YouTube, Lily Singh. She reached a YouTuber milestone of sorts by getting featured on Kids React, which she, of course, in turn reacted to. Boy, was this kid Ethan chugging on haterade. I know he had a Naruto backpack in elementary school. I can always smell it on someone. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. In 2017, she played the Explorer on YouTube Premium's Escape the Night, returning to the show in 2019. I don't know what it was about the show, but it was practically YouTuber jury duty. She began doing a lot of hosting gigs, like for MTV's Total Request Live, even serving as a producer and developer of content for the network. Because even at this point, Liza wanted to have a hand in the creative direction that her career was taking. She ain't no passenger princess. I am. More of a Diana than anything. This year marked a real career shift because she made a parody of that series where a random man breaks into celebrities' homes and interviews them at gunpoint. You're not seeing that, but he is holding a gun to them off camera, aka 73 Questions. Which, by the way, not to brag, okay, but I randomly met Joe Sabia, who is the guy that does the interviews. This is probably my favorite 73 Questions with Derek Zoolander.
I'm here to ask you 73 questions. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of the interviewer's voice?
Oh my gosh, is that you? Oh my gosh, a real celebrity. Oh my gosh. You look like what I imagined you look like.
What does that mean, Matt?
I don't know. Just a floating, like, brunette wig. I use a cutie patootie. Okay, but going off topic. But then, guess who got her own 73 Questions episode? And she was the first viral star to do this. She even jokingly wrote Met Gala on some store-bought cookies as, like, a prop. But, I mean, ask and you shall receive, because then she got invited to be a host at the Met Gala in 2018 and 2019, looking like a cute Tetris piece. And eventually, she was just an actual guest. She even hosted the pre-party show for the Golden Globes and the adolescent torture spectacle Double Dare on Nickelodeon, which got nominated for Outstanding Game Show at the 47th Daytime Emmys. I know it's daytime, okay? But there's still the Emmys, okay? Don't knock it. That's how Whoopi secured her EGOT. Liza was already busy, but she was booked for the next couple years, because in 2018, she co-created, produced, and also starred in YouTube Premium's Liza On Demand, which ran until 2021, the pilot of which she also wrote. She even went on to direct the episodes The Art of Settling and Trust Thousand, which earned her a spot in the Directors Guild. In the show, Liza plays a slave in the dystopian gig economy, living with two roommates in an overpriced city. Now, the reviews for this show were mixed, you could say. What really didn't help was that YouTube was really pushing this show out, especially to people who were not really gonna be fans of Liza's humor. So a lot of people just thought it was corny. The first episode of season 2 in particular, I remember, was getting pushed very aggressively. It is also very clickbaity. And it did get views, but the reception to it was overwhelmingly negative. Now, granted, this campaign was not Liza's doing. Let's just say this did not help with its public reception. By this year, she had been a very consistent member of the Vlog Squad, collabing with them in what I like to call her big head thumbnail era. They even appeared on an episode of MTV's Silent Library together. The summer of 2018 had her breaking up with David, and look, I'm not trying to mock the actual heartbreak that they felt, but there was this wave of breakup videos that had a lot of people making memes about the awkwardness of being a YouTuber and having to set up a camera before you have a breakdown or cry.
Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this. for the video.
But on the other hand, they had a very public relationship, so I guess they felt the need to actually announce the breakup and potentially provide context. I'm not sure. In November of 2018, she released the animated short film Crow the Legend on her second channel, where she voiced the character Owl. So you could say that 2018 was a very busy year for her, and so she took a break. Liza stated that she wanted to take a step back and just actually enjoy her success. She just needed to rest, frankly, especially because the gig Liza on Demand was a very grueling job, and she did not want to continue churning out YouTube videos just for the sake of it. But at this time, she assumed that she would be returning to the platform. In 2019, she was doing a lot more mainstream press gigs, like Wired's sensory deprivation tank / interrogation routine, most searched questions. She was also included in Time's 25 most influential people on the internet, Forbes 30 under 30. By 2020, she was on Time's 100 most influential people, period, not just online. I always wonder how many of the people featured on these lists are in jail now. Drinking game. She had the honor of being tortured by Sean and the paltry purgatory that is Hot Ones, where she handled these wings like a champ.
Oh. I feel like I'm at Coachella. Oh shit. Weekend playing.
I want to go on the show so bad, just so that I could lick Sean's bald head like a cat. Not in a sensual way, okay? I just want to feel his emerging hair follicles on my tongue. In 2020, Liza stayed getting booked for hosting gigs, which makes sense. She's a very personable individual. Plus, she is very petite, and a lot of people in the entertainment industry are way shorter than you think they are. It's Munchkin land out there. Tom Cruise is 3 feet tall, and I want to swaddle him like a baby. First, she hosted the dancing show Floored on professional, pocket-sized hater Jeffrey Katzenberg's very short-lived platform, Quibi. This show is an actual dystopian nightmare, where dancers are forced to perform while things are just thrown at them. It's tragic this didn't get a second season. This was also another election year. Fun. So she would talk to Michelle Obama, who is in her post-presidency, I can finally wear my hair the way I want to era. She said that sensible accountant's bob no longer shackles me. Liza even appeared in the YouTube original special, Creators for Change on Girls' Education with Michelle Obama. This was created in support of the nonprofit Room to Read, which supports the education of young girls in Vietnam. She, of course, chatted with infamous hair sniffer Joe Biden. He legit thought she was Kamala. She was really urging people to vote during this election. She even served as the co-chair of Michelle Obama's nonprofit When We All Vote. I did my part, okay? I voted thrice. She even partnered with the Equal Justice Initiative and created a video fundraiser that raised over $17,000. Funny how I wasn't one of those black voices that was highlighted. What is in the sort of general past transgression purge of 2020? She wrote a short document in which she looked back on some of her racial humor, expressing certain regrets for leaning into stereotypes and apologizing for what she considered to be general insensitivity. Professionally, though, that year she had arguably her largest film role to date, starring alongside pre-mega fame floating wiglet Sabrina Carpenter in Netflix's Work It, where Sabrina plays this normie dork who they try to make look frumpy, but it's like, girl, she still looks gorgeous. Anyway, Sabrina needs like a spicy extracurricular to get into WASP Roofie University, and her school doesn't have anything unique like QAnon or Fight Club, so she joins up with Liza and this raggedy group of misfits, and she shimmies her way to the top, and then assumedly blocks all of these losers when college actually starts. Liza was really in her bougie, but still approachable era. She was going to Paris Fashion Week with Dior, making appearances on Fallon. She was still hosting gigs like the exercise and culinary sadism Chopped Next Generation.
Chop.
In December of 2021, she co-hosted Dick Clark's New York Rocking Eve, and returned the following year because her ratings were that good. By 2021, she was clearly prioritizing her non-internet projects, and she'd completely stopped uploading to her second channel by this year. In 2022, she, alongside Shakira, hosted the dancing competition show Dancing with Myself. She continued voice acting, playing Zip Storm in My Little Pony: The Next Generation, and voiced RC in 2023's Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Professional gooner Michael Bay did not direct this one, which is probably why there's actual female Transformers in it. She even voiced the reoccurring character Sarina on Disney's Primos. 2023 had Liza hosting Empty Nest Refresh on the only good streaming platform, Roku. The show had her helping kids that were moving out renovate their childhood bedroom into a space for their parents, like a doomsday bunker or a shrine. I don't know what these people are into. But it was meant to show appreciation, and I'm not gonna lie, this was actually like very sweet. NBC tapped her to host yet another one of their programs that solely exists to play in the background of a doctor's waiting room. It's called Password. Hey, Miss Kiki Palmer. I'm not gonna lie, honestly, I'm just glad that both of them are booked and getting paid. She had another acting role in the Netflix rom-com Players, the plot of which is weirdly unethical because Gina Rodriguez is basically helping people lie and manipulate their way into relationships. Anyway, my favorite Wayne's family member is in this film, so hey Damon. Why was I acting like I even had a chance? Her most recent YouTube video was from 2024. It is a closet tour, and Miss Liza is looking toned and moisturized.
This is a piece that my dad got me in London on our trip during Christmas, and I love it. It's a giant sharpener. If you put your hand inside, it sharpens it. So...
All of that grinding really paid off because she is content whipping up cookies in her beautiful home. I love seeing how people live. Oh, thank you, Architectural Digest. It's allowed me to indulge in being disgustingly nosy.
Introduce you to this Santa from 1950s. For whatever reason, though, he does look like Steve Buscemi. I don't know why either. Look at those hands. Why are they so dirty? I don't know where they've been. So scary.
She still will dabble in philanthropy, collaborating on a necklace collection with the Giving Keys, which is a jewelry company that helps and employs people transitioning out of homelessness. Most recently, she had a small role as a detective in the Naked Gun film with Liam Neeson, which, by the way, phenomenal movie. And honestly, looking at her socials, she has transitioned into quite a fashionable diva. And she is still so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. She's such a little cutie patootie. Like, I don't want to sound patronizing because we're the same height, but still, she's adorable. She seems content working on non-internet projects. She's still acting a fool on her socials. She has had quite the career. Practically no controversy. She minds her business. She pays her taxes. She flosses, assumedly. And she's not even 30 yet, which doesn't... You know what? No, I'm not going to compare myself to her, even though we're only a few years apart. You know what? This isn't about me. Good on you, Liza. As always, if you want me to cover another person in one of these retrospectives, please comment it down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Literally comment anything. Comment that you hate me. Comment that you think I'm ugly. Do it. I don't care. It's still engagement, you know? Plus, I know you guys don't mean it. Sometimes I'll get comments that are like, you should do this person, you should do this person, and it's like, I already have. So check out my playlists on my channel, because I might have already covered said individual. And as always, thank you for watching. Shout out to my top patrons. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, please click on the link in the description or the one that is on screen. I have 3 years worth of back catalog on there, and I'm uploading more consistently. So if you want to check out a lot of the videos that I think are fun and goofy and interesting, but don't necessarily perform that well on here, then please go to my Patreon. The lowest tier is $3 a month. Thank you to my other lovely patrons. Your names should be scrolling on screen as I speak. Bye.